Namaskar, everyone. Happy full Leo moon. If you are catching the recording and this is your first time joining us, I do want to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Vina Lene Rachel. I am a moon priestess, an intuitive, a channeler of the divine. That is what my name Vina means. And I have been hosting full moon and new moon circles for probably about 8 years at this point. I can't remember when I first got started. We've had them on Facebook, Instagram, Zoom, and now they're here in our 13 Moons membership if you are live. But if you are catching the recording, you are getting an edited version of this moon circle coming from the membership. Now, of course, if you are here live, welcome in all of the members of 13 Moons. We are going to cover a lot in our moon circle tonight. First off, we're going to talk about this being the full moon in Leo and what that brings to the cosmic table, what that Leo energy will do to our energy and to the collective. We'll also talk a little bit about Aquarius season still, because Aquarius energy rules this lunar cycle that we're currently in. Although we are in a full moon ruled by the sign of Leo, we still have the sun season of Aquarius playing out right now. And in fact, anytime that you have a full moon, you are experiencing the light of the sun reflecting off of that moon onto the earth. So we'll discuss a little bit about the sign of the cosmic water bearer tonight. We will touch on the Vedic astrology of this moon being in Ashlesha Nakshatra, or the snake star or clinging star. And we'll touch on other current cosmic transits that are going to be playing out maybe in the next week or so. I will guide you through some elements that you might want to work with tonight, maybe some other suggested practices. We will do a tarot reading for the collective as well, or I apologize, we won't be doing a tarot reading tonight. We're going to be doing a spirit animal reading tonight, and I just felt like maybe doing something a little bit different. So I will bring those cards in and explain what they mean for our past, present, and future insights. And of course, if you are here live, all members will stick on after the regular transmission, and I will be doing card pulls from this same spirit animal oracle deck for all of the members of 13 Moons. So I hope you maybe have something to drink right now. I've got a nice hot tea. Remember that full moons are a time of detox, so you might want to have maybe some green tea. I have been craving matcha all week for whatever reason. I don't know if I just need the matcha to help detox a little bit, but I highly suggest that you work with maybe detox teas or just flush yourself with a lot of water right now. But we'll be together for about 45 minutes to an hour as well. So you might want to have something to drink. You might want to have something to write things down with tonight. We are not going to be doing any sort of magical practice with the 13 Moons members tonight, but we will be doing a breathwork practice, members. So you might want to prepare yourself for that. Just get yourself comfortable, make sure that you're here without distractions. And of course, no matter where you're tuning in from, just be here now, be present to let go of anything that might pull you away from receiving everything that you need to hear in this circle tonight. So I like to always start with 3 deep breaths. It just grounds in the energy. It does help us feel more together here, whether you're live or not. So let's take a moment to find that breath. Maybe first get into your posture, nice tall spine, really receiving the breath in on an inhale. And then open mouth exhale. Maybe just shake things out at the bottom, loosen up, and then we're going to do that again. Deep breath in through the nose. Maybe some sound as you breathe out. Let's get those vocal cords vibrating, turn on the vagus nerve, get yourself more relaxed. And finally, if you want to join with a big stretch, reaching the arms out or overhead, deep breath in, and exhale, let it all go. Blessed full moon night, blessed snow moon. So I am coming to you from my home office where I usually transmit from. It's either here or my yoga studio. But right now I don't have a choice to come to you from the yoga studio. I actually had plans to do that tonight because I have that nice fireplace in the background and we're in a fiery Leo moon. However, we're also in a snow moon if you're referencing the indigenous cultures of North America. And we had a snowstorm today. So I've been home all day. I canceled my classes, I canceled my private clients, and I canceled leaving my house at all because it's not really great to do so. The roads are not doing well, and the wind chill is super cold. It's like -15. It might be even colder now because it's nighttime. So I'm playing it safe. I'm here at home underneath this snow moon in the middle of this snowy winter weather, and I hope that you are cozied up wherever you are, you're comfortable, and you're enjoying your Wednesday evening or whatever time you're tuning into this replay. I want to start by bringing in other elements. I like to bring in the 5 elements just to make our circle more sacred, bring in a little bit of extra magic. And these are suggestions of tools that you might want to work with underneath this full moon as well. You might want to acquire these tools and charge them up with this full moon. And remember that even though we have our full moon circle happening today and the full moon peaked about 8 o'clock this morning, we will be with this energy for a couple of days. So you can make moon water tonight. You can charge up your crystals and tools tonight. You could do it tomorrow. You could probably even do it the next day because that'll be about 48 hours after. But if you don't want to use any tools, at least you've just got some energy that you can take into this transmission tonight and receive. I'm going to start with crystals and gemstones I would suggest working with right now, beginning with our tiger's eye. So this is always a great stone to work with anytime you're trying to embrace more of your sacral chakra, creative energy. But it's also representing that big cat energy. And Leo is ruled by the cosmic lion. So if we're trying to embrace lion qualities, things like ruling our life with more of an alpha mentality, maybe having more balance between work and hunt and rest. Maybe we're just trying to believe in ourselves with more confidence and courage. Tiger Eye can bring all of this out of you. So you might want to work with that one right now. You also might want to work with either sunstone or citrine because Leo energy is ruled by the sun. So we can bring in actual sunstone. It's kind of this yellowish orange sun color, or we could bring in this beautiful golden yellow citrine. And both of these crystals help us to activate our solar plexus chakra. That is our internal sun or internal fire. And if we're working on things like confidence, empowerment, strength, and willpower, showing up to ourselves, believing in ourselves, then we might want to work with these crystals to activate that third energy center. If you want to go up a little higher into the 4th energy center, your heart chakra, you might want to work with rose quartz or perhaps carnelian. Carnelian is a stone related to the sign of Leo. It is also related to heart energy, our healthy blood flow, healthy energetic flow, and it enhances our circulation. We are in winter. This is the snow moon. It is probably a very cold time if you're in North America, and you might feel a little stagnant with your energy right now. You might feel like something is a little bit stuck right now. If you need to get things flowing again, bring some carnelian into your life. I like to sleep with this one around me. I like to hold it in meditation, even have it on my yoga mat as I'm moving around, but it's a really great stone to enhance heart energy. Finally, you might want to work with black onyx because this is a stone that is associated with the birthstone of Leo, but it's also a stone that takes away negative energy. Again, we are in the depths of winter if you are here in North America, and you might be dealing with seasonal depression right now. At least for us this week, we have this snowstorm right now in the middle of the week, and we're predicted to get more snow on Saturday, Friday. We've been navigating the ups and downs of winter for a few weeks now. now. And if you're just feeling a little low, a little moody, or maybe you have some fiery feelings that are not serving you right now, things like jealousy, rage, any sort of angst, frustration. If you need to get that stuff out of you, get some black onyx into your life. It'll help absorb all of those negative energies and help to create a more positive environment. In addition to these crystals, I would also suggest working with the element of fire. You can build some sort of fire pit. You could do a fire burning ceremony right now where you write things down that you want to release and you burn that piece of paper safely. You might just want to get yourself a little heated up right now to get your circulation flowing, do a little bit more cardio or have more activity in your life. Maybe you want to take a nice hot bath or shower right now, because combining the fire and the water, like heated water right now, really aligns with this moon. We have the moon in Ashlesha Nakshatra in Vedic Astrology, and this one in particular is right at the edge of Cancer, and it's right at the edge of that water energy, but it's also in a Gandanta or karmic knot in between Cancer and Leo. So we have this water and fire element coming together, and that can be very polarizing, but we can also be very useful if we bring it into the right alchemy and the right mix. So hot water, hot baths, hot showers, hot tubs, any of that can be really nice. Hot springs, natural waters right now, and also getting in tune with hot water on the inside. So maybe drinking hot broths, hot teas, engaging in hot liquid meals, consuming more of the hot and the water can be really useful for your energy. But in addition to that, you might want to bring in the element of fire either through smudging or through using a smudging spray. So I don't feel like lighting up an actual smudging stick and getting all that wind and smoke in the air right now. The snow, because we're snowing right now, the wind isn't circulating a lot. It's very dense, and I really need that smoke to like leave the room. So I'm going to do smudging spray instead. And this is a great alternative if you cannot smudge where you are. If you cannot use sacred smoke wherever you are, you can do a spray instead. This happens to be a smudging spray of Spanish sage. So I'm still saging here. I'm just doing it in a different way. And the reason that I brought up all of that mix of fire and water is because essential oils are produced with a combination of all of the elements. So we have the earth element coming in with the plant matter we used to collect the oil from. We have the fire coming in because we use steam distillation to collect that oil. We have the water element coming in because it's coming in liquid form, or we're getting, again, that steam distillation to get the final product. We're bringing in the air or wind element through our olfactory system because this is an aromatic tool. We're going to smell this oil. The energy of this oil is going to go into our olfactory system. And I mentioned the energy of this oil because that's the fifth element, the ether, as the frequency of this oil moves into our body and our frequency body and helps us to have more emotional alchemy. There's a lot of power in smudging sprays. Do not underestimate them. And if you ever want to make one, it's about 30 drops of essential oil. I would say 10 to 30, depending on strength of smell or strength of power with the oil. The rest of it is just clean distilled water, little bit of isopropyl alcohol at the top to preserve and keep any growth from out of it, and you're good to go. So I'm going to shake that up right now, get it all mixed. I'm going to give you a little spritz of this Spanish sage oil. I'm going to spritz around the tech, really just around the air of the tech. I don't want to get my tech all wet or my camera wet. And then I'm going to say, give a little spray to myself and kind of this space we're in. Smells so good. And that brings in all of our elements, but specifically the fire and the water as well. Now, I want to mention other essential oils that you might want to work with right now. In addition to sage oil, you might want to utilize cedar wood. I mentioned this heart activation that you might be craving that underneath this moon. And so if you need to activate your heart space, cedar wood is a really good one to use. Just the smell of cedar wood straight from the bottle, throwing it in in your diffuser can be really nice. Maybe a drop or two in your bath can help the muscles relax. Cedar wood is also good for opening up our heart energetically. This is a moon that is arriving 2 days before Valentine's Day. So if you need to work on your heart in some way, you want to maybe work with cedar wood for that. Also, if you just want to connect to your heart more, if you want to live your life ruled through your heart more, if you want to breathe through your heart, see through your heart, act through your heart more, then cedar wood is a good one to utilize. It's very calming, very relaxing, just smelling it. Like you think about those cedar chips we put in dresser drawers in the wintertime to keep the mice out. Cedar wood is a very winter related essential oil as well. And I said copaiba on accident, but that is another oil I would suggest working with right now. And that's because our energy is very amplified underneath this full moon. We have the fire of the Leo moon combining with the air of Aquarius sun, and air plus fire is more fire. Fire energetically is a lot of heightened prana. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling anxious, if you're struggling to just slow down, maybe rest or sleep better, copaiba is a good one to utilize. This oil combines with our CB2 receptor in our brain, and that's responsible for regulating our nervous system, helping us to be in more of that parasympathetic state, that rest digest state. So if you need help relaxing right now, highly suggest working with copaiba. You could work with rose, by the way, to open up that frequency of the heart as well. Very saturated rose right now with Valentine's Day, but that's another great one that you can use. And if you're trying to enhance copaiba, you can combine it with frankincense, and the two will together work with your cellular health, your nervous system, and just your body systems as a whole to help you feel like you're more in equanimity, like you're more in energetic harmony. So if you're feeling a little off right now, get some copaiba in your life, and maybe the combination of copaiba and frankincense. Finally, the fifth element, the ether, I already mentioned this. It's this space that we're using to connect in frequency and energy. And when we use technology like the internet, this frequency and energy is very strong. I love working with the ether when it comes to astrology and my moon circles, because this is a space that withstands time. It also moves beyond the 2D, 3D dimensions of space. So as I'm introducing these crystals, these oils to you right now, although you can't smell the oils, although you can't hold the crystals in your hand, you are still receiving the energetic frequencies of these elements. And I think that's really cool. So receive what you can now. And I'm going to invite in the guides and guardians of these 5 elements just to enhance our circle and prepare it even more. I want to take a moment first to welcome in the guides and guardians of the East with their element of air. We feel the air of this Aquarius sun season reflecting now off the full moon as we breathe in air to things that need to be refreshed, renewed, replenished. Maybe we're resuscitating something that's been dormant, stagnant, dead for a while. Maybe we're just inviting in the concept of fresh, new beginnings. We trust in this element of air and how we work with it tonight. We thank the guides and guardians of the East for being in our circle. We also invite in and welcome the guides and guardians of the South with their element of fire, burning very strongly with the fixed fire of this Leo full moon, amplifying the flames when you combine it with the air of the Aquarius sun. And we embrace this fire, knowing that it is helping us to transform. It is turning on our desire to be a different person, to live a different way. It is helping us to move forward towards our goals and intentions. We welcome in the fire, and we thank the guides and guardians of the South for being in our circle. We also invite in the guides and guardians of the West with their element of water. From Vedic perspective, this moon is in Ashlesha Nakshatra. It's also at the time of the Kumbh Mela, a time when we migrate to the waters of the sacred rivers and we purify ourselves with a holy bath. Even if we cannot migrate to these sacred spaces, know that we can cleanse and purify ourselves every time we step into utilizing water. And therefore, we thank the guides and guardians of the West with their water for being in our circle tonight. We also invite in the guides and guardians of the North with the earth element and all of the earthly tools we're using, the crystals, the essential oils collected from the earthly plants, the flora. We invite in the energy of our ancestors as well, those who have walked this earth before us and now can give us guidance. We thank the guides and guardians of the North with their earth element for being present in our circle. Finally, we invite in and welcome the guides and guardians of the fifth element, the Akash, the ether, the all that ever was, the all that ever will be, source energy, whatever we want to label it. We thank the guides and guardians of the ether for being in our circle. With that, our circle is more open and sacred. I'm going to take a quick drink of water and just itch my nose. I have had such allergies. We also have a lot of static inside the house because it's so dry right now, and I feel like my hair just continues to like tickle my face a little bit. So don't mind me fidgeting, but I'm going to get a drink. And if you are live, feel free, if you need to put anything in the chat tonight, go ahead and do that now. How are you feeling with this full moon? How are you feeling with this snake energy coming in from the Vedic side? Are you noticing any need to release right now or transform and change with the fire of this moon? If you want to share anything, you can put that in the chat while I grab this drink. All right. Let's talk about Leo energy because that's where we should start. We have a Leo full moon right now. It's in 24 degrees of Leo, meaning it is full force fire Leo energy. And we're feeling it. We had the Super Bowl on Wednesday here in North America. It was quite a fiery halftime show. So I think we're feeling like that lion energy, wanting to roar out, express itself, be seen, get attention, be in the spotlight, be in the limelight. And there's nothing wrong with that. Many times in our life, we do need that recognition in order to feel valid and feel important. Even today, my kid, he ran into something or hurt himself somewhat, and he was hurting. He was kind of like making like a kind of like whimpering, and he was hurting. And my husband said, "Oh, you're fine." And he's like, "I'm not fine. I hurt right now. I hurt myself." And he was like, "Ah, you didn't hurt yourself that bad. You're fine." And he's like, "I'm not fine. I hurt myself." And he really wanted to be like seen and heard and validated that he had hurt himself. And that's very Leo energy. Like we need to be seen and validated sometimes, and that's okay. This is also an energy that likes to be more in control and have more power. You think about the alpha mentality of the lion. This is what we're embracing right now. And maybe we are having to take our power back or take back control of something right now. This moon is going to shine light on things that we do need to tend to. We also maybe need to tend to ourselves right now because the Leo energy, that lion energy, big cat energy is related to kind of the pruning and primping and grooming of ourselves. And we also have this moon in Ashlesha Nakshatra ruled by Mercury from the east. And this relates to our throat chakra, our center of wellness. So this is a good moon to pay attention to our hygiene, our health and wellness, make sure that we're doing all the things on a daily basis that we need to in order to stay healthy and attuned. I mentioned the Kumbh Mela in that invocation. This is a Maha Kumbh Mela in India. It's a great Hindu pilgrimage to the place where these two holy rivers come together, and people migrate to these sacred sites every 12 years to take a holy bath in the river. And there's usually sadhas there, and coincidentally, they're Naga sadhis, and Naga means snake, but they help people to take these ritualistic spiritual baths and dip in the water, almost like a baptism, and to help purify them and wash away the karma, wash away their sins, kind of create space for what they're ready to welcome in. And we can do the same right now. We can allow ourselves to be purified underneath this moon. We can let go of what doesn't serve. We can invite in the things that support our ego in a healthy way, and then let go of the things that do not. This is a snow moon in North America, and the snow again represents that white, pure essence. Can we allow ourselves to move into that state, whether we take a holy bath or not, whether we go outside in the snow or not, whether we, tend to our hygiene in a certain way or not? Can we just start to embody that concept, right? So this is a great moon for you to think about what you need to let go of that is not serving your ego, that's not serving your spiritual essence, that's not serving your soul. Let it all be washed away or released in whatever way you can. If it's not water, it's the breath, right? Just an exhale and letting go. Maybe you also have, like I said, a fire burning ceremony. You bring in that concept of fire for transformation. Anything that goes through fire can't be the same on the other side. So that's why fire is such a powerful tool to work with. But whatever you do right now, this Leo moon says, hey, take care of yourself, tend to yourself. Make sure that you're seen and heard in a healthy way. Get the attention you need, but also don't get too much attention. And also make sure that you are in control of your life. It's almost like you're living your life like royalty. The royal lion, it carries this very regal, sovereign energy. Are you feeling sovereign in your life right now, or do you need to make adjustments to get back in control? I also want to mention that it is difficult to take action right now. And underneath this full moon in particular, you might not want to take action. You might want to wait a few days. Partially, this is because Mercury is ruling this moon from the east, and Mercury is tricky. Mercury never wants you to really engage in contracts, agreements, decisions while it's playing out its energy. But we also don't want to move forward right now because this is the first full moon of the lunar cycle. This is a time of sacred pause, and we really want to honor that. We can start to think about the changes that we want to make. We can start to think about the direction that we want to go. But just for now, can you slow down? Can you rest? Can you relax? Can you take time off and trust that the work will be there for you to do in just a few days' time? Leo is related to the inner child. And our inner child needs to play. It needs to be adventurous. It needs to have fun and imagination. And if you were on my new moon circle 2 weeks ago with the new moon in Aquarius, I mentioned I was going to share a story about my son that day that related to this full moon in Leo. And so I'm going to do that now. But a few weeks ago, my son, I was just in the middle of like typing on my computer, doing some work, and I was sitting on the floor in front of the fireplace, family's hanging out, my husband's there, the dog's there. And out of the blue, my kid comes up and hands me like this toy pirate sword that he has. He just sets it down on the ground in front of me. He doesn't like try to give it to me, just sets it down right there. And he says, Mom, I brought you this pirate sword so that when you're ready, you can take a break from your work and you can play pirate. And you don't have to play with me. You can just play pirate because it's good for adults to play too sometimes. And it really got me because I try to play with my kid a lot. I try to have a lot of whimsy and fun and take breaks from my work during the day because I work from home a lot. But just have that imagination with him and have fun. But he was really emphasizing that message to me. And I heard that under the new moon in Aquarius. And I felt like that was very meaningful. It was the universe speaking to me through my child. So I share this message with you now underneath this full moon in Leo to ask you the same. Are you working too hard? Do you need to take breaks? Do you need to go play and have fun and just do to do? Because we had snow here today and I homeschool my kid, I still decided to have a snow day. And we had a lot of fun today. Number one, I got in this big tub. I filled it up with a whole bunch of snow and I threw a bunch of little action figures in there. And he had a whole big snow fight. And guess what? When that snow melted into water, then it was like a water in a lake fight. And I happened to have some leftover cooked spaghetti in the fridge that nobody was going to eat. So guess what? Then we had the spaghetti swamps and we played with that for hours too. And we had a whole lot of fun today. And we need that every once in a while. We need to just have fun. Maybe we need to just build or make for the sake of building and making, busting out those magnetiles, those Legos, Play-Doh, whatever it is to create for no reason at all, just to channel our energy. I mentioned that our energy is quite amplified right now with this fire, right? So maybe you have some feelings that you need to channel through. My son is a fire child. He's an Aries. And one of the things that I really try to do with him when he's having his outbursts of fire energy, when he's having his tantrums and whatnot, he's really angry, he's really frustrated. I try to get him to get his hands on things. I try to get him to build or play with Play-Doh or draw a picture and move that energy through. And as adults, we're no different than children. We need to move our energy through. So allow yourself to have fun today. Maybe get creative in this lunar portal and let your energy move through in any way. But it's not a time to work. It's not a time to move forward. And the other reason, amongst the others I already listed, is that Mars is still retrograde. Mars does not go direct for another about a week from now. And while it's retrograde, it's not easy to take action. It's not easy to initiate ourselves into doing things. We're not good at being self-starters when Mars is retrograde. So if you've been drained, if you've been tired, if you've just been feeling wiped right now, maybe rest, maybe take time off and play, get creative, but do things differently and just expect to move forward maybe in the next 3 to 4 to 7 days instead. I also want to mention Mercury because it's already ruling the moon from the eastern side, but Mercury comes into play this week in a couple of days on Valentine's Day when it shifts into the sign of Pisces. Pisces is the romantic, squishy, emotional fish. And when Mercury lines up there, it allows us to be a little bit squishy and emotional. Don't be surprised if with this full moon you are feeling like you need to express your feelings to others about how you feel in a good way. Don't feel like you can't hold back your feelings of love or love languages because Mercury in Pisces wants to speak love language. It also wants to receive love language. So allow yourself to receive love right now. Allow yourself to receive compliments and showers of affection if you are getting it. And maybe you reciprocate it, maybe you don't. That's up to you. But just know that the planet of communication and expression wants to be a little softer right now. And it's a good time for us to embrace that energy because we are moving into Pisces season in just about a week. And this Mercury in Pisces is a preview of that heart ruled energy that's to come. So we talked about the sun in Aquarius amplifying the flames of the full moon. But I also want to talk about Aquarius season because even though we have a full moon showing up right now, the sun season of Aquarius is ruling the lunar cycle, ruling the energy. And Aquarius is a freedom fighter. It is a very independent energy, and so is Leo. So we're going to feel a lot of independence right now. We are going to want to take back our power if we have lost it. We're going to want to feel more free overall. Perhaps we've been exchanging energy with somebody and it's making us feel bound up or attached in an unhealthy way, and we need to cut ties with that. Maybe we have some sort of contract that we've committed ourselves to, and it's time to renegotiate that contract now or just let it go. Maybe it's a time to make a decision if you want to contract and agree to something or not. There's a lot of interesting energy that's going to happen right now. But when we have Aquarius here, it reminds us to do it all for ourselves, for the sake of the good. So we take care of ourselves, we find our freedom, we find more energetic bliss and harmony, and we feed our soul, and then we can help others do the same. Leo energy is super selfish, probably the most selfish sign of the zodiac. And it says, hey, get selfish with yourself right now. Tend to yourself, take care of yourself, think about what you want, what you desire, what's moving from your heart, and then we'll worry about the external here in just a little bit. Even on the eastern side of the world, we are encouraged to take care of ourselves right now. So I mentioned that the moon is in Ashlesha Nakshatra. Ashlesha means clinging, and this is the clinging star or snake star. Coiled is another name for Ashlesha, the coiled star. And this can be related to the coiled energy at the bottom of our energy body, the Kundalini, the energetic snakes of male and female energy, masculine, feminine, Ida Pingala, yin yang, that run up our chakras and our energy body. This snake star is also related to the Hindu deity Naga, which is a snake deity, and Sarpa, which is another snake god or controller of the snakes. We're in the year of the snake. This new moon that we had just 2 weeks ago in Shravana Nakshatra initiated us into Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year, where we moved into the year of the wood snake. Now we have this full moon in Ashlesha, or the snake star. And I do believe that all of this is out of protection. I think it is a time for us to analyze our relationships with others and see where there are snakes in the grass. Where are people being snake-like with their behavior towards you? Where are people being snake-like in general, being a little ick? It's time to shed ourselves of that and rid ourselves of that. Full moons are a time of letting go. This year of the snake, 2025, is a 9 year. 9 is the number of rebirth and shedding and letting go. So allow yourself to release any attachments you have or relationships you have with people who may appear more snaky to you than you want. This is also a time for you to shed your own skin and get a little bit more vulnerable, be a little bit more authentic, let yourself shine. When a snake first sheds its skin and it comes out brand new, it's so shiny and beautiful. It's like glistening scales. And we feel that way too when we shed the things that we need to rid ourselves from. Maybe it's behaviors, maybe it's thought processes, maybe it's who we orient ourselves or where we orient ourselves. It's what we take on with our energy. It's time to purify and let go now. So just as many spiritual pilgrims are migrating to these holy rivers to take these holy baths to rid themselves of the excess and what doesn't serve, it's time for us to just energetically, give ourselves a little shower, a little permission to release and free ourselves from what's been hardening us and preventing us from moving into our next level evolution. I also want to mention that from Vedic perspective, this moon is in what we call a Gandanta, a karmic knot, because this Ashlesha Nakshatra spans to 30 degrees of Cancer. So it goes right to the edge of that water element as it starts to move over into the fire of Leo. So the moon is doing a dance right now on the edge of water and fire from the Vedic perspective. And this Gandanta, or this karmic knot in between the signs, also brings in a lot of karmic energy to what we are doing right now. As we make decisions for ourselves right now, as we decide what we want to shed and what we want to allow to cling, there will be karmic results from that. It's not like the repercussions of the decisions will play out over the next month, positive or lessons to learn, or it's going to be a lot longer than that. It's going to be more like over this next year, because we're in this snake energy and this year of the snake. So make sure that you're paying attention to the decisions you make right now. Pay attention to your energy, where you are exchanging it, where you are allowing it to be penetrated, protect yourself where you need to, and make sure that you're, taking care of yourself to shed completely and release completely what you need to as well. I'm just thinking about my snake plant over here, by the way. If you don't have a snake plant, you might want to get one. This was gifted by Lisa, who's actually here on the transmission. And Lisa, look, it's got a little baby already. I don't know if you can see it in the video. There's a little baby right here on the snake plant already starting to rise up. And this has happened over the past week or so. And we've got a lot of the snake energy coming through right now. But I mentioned this snake plant because it's very sharp. If you've ever touched one or been around one, they're kind of hard and sharp towards their edges and their ends. And this process of shedding, it's not always comfortable. This process of rebirth is not always comfortable. When we allow ourselves to let go and make space, a lot of times it's an emotional experience and it brings a level of grief. So if you are working on yourself, if you're trying to transform and change right now, if you're releasing a relationship or a connection to somebody or something, and it's not easy, know that it's going to get easier over time. Stay committed. That fire energy under this moon really helps us to stay committed. And the water energy of this moon reminds us to do what's best for our emotional health and wellness. So I give you permission to be as gentle as you need to under this moon, but also to give yourself permission to break free of anything that is just tying you down, weighing you down, holding you back. Because with this being the first full moon of the lunar year, it is just not the time to allow any of that stuff to hold on. We still got a whole 12 more moons to navigate from here, 12 more lunar cycles. So rid yourself of the excess so you are open and ready to receive. Let's do our spirit animal reading. We've been here for about 40 minutes or so. And of course, I'm going to do card readings for all of the members of 13 Moons here later on privately in the transmission. But for now, this is the collective reading. And I felt like pulling from the animal cards because it is an Aquarius lunar cycle, and Aquarius energy is always about doing things a little bit differently. We're also embracing the qualities of the lion with this moon. So I wanted to see what other animals may come through to give us guidance. For our first card, I pulled a reverse card and I pulled Dolphin Spirit. And the message on this card says, "This and that are true." And because this is in reverse, this is a protection message. I believe that this is shedding light on all of the truth that is coming out right now on the collective. Also within ourselves, right? There may have been times in the past when we believed a certain way, but also doubted ourselves because there's a lot of mixed media out there and there's a lot of influence out there. And it might have been hard to really stick to our values, stick to our beliefs, stick to our opinions based on so much mixed energy floating around, swirling around. The depths of the ocean here would describe the amount of information that's been circulating over probably these past 20, 25 years now. Think about the 20 on this card. I feel like this really is about this century or this first quarter of the century that we've been navigating. And now it's saying that we no longer have this and that being true, questioning ourselves, not wondering what is truth and what is not. Anything that's coming out moving forward is going to be absolute truth. That is the age of Aquarius. There are no secrets to hide anymore. And we can see that. We can see that on the collective. Many things are airing out right now. Things are getting fresh breath breathed into them and revived. There's a lot of very interesting matters of truth coming to light right now. So Dolphin Spirit says, make sure that you know your truth, but also trust that when others around you may be trying to convince you otherwise, if you believe it to be so in the depths of your heart, then it absolutely is so, at least for you. And the next card I got for our present card was the Armadillo Spirit. It's got number 3 on the card. It says to set healthy boundaries. This is a Leo full moon. A Leo full moon wants you to get selfish, wants you to set boundaries, wants you to take care of yourself. This Ashlesha Nakshatra wants you to protect your energy, to make sure that no snakes in the grass are going to surprise you. You need to have a little bit of a hardened shell right now. You need to be taking care of yourself, making sure that you're tending to yourself, not really worrying about others. Full moons are a sacred pause for you, not the rest of the world. And this armadillo spirit, it does remind us to also take care of ourselves and make sure that we're setting boundaries so that we stay in our practices every day. We stay in our routines every day that keep us supported, that keep us moving towards success. And a little bit of a reminder to also soften the shell around the right people and around the right energy. You don't have to always be hard. You can soften. It just has to be with the right energy. Finally, for our future card, I have the Antelope Spirit. And it says, life is speeding up. And we got this antelope racing along. And I believe that this card is a perfect depiction of the energy we have right now. The energy of Aquarius is very quick, spontaneous. There's a lot of changes happening. Life is moving forward very quickly right now. And this card comes in as our future message to say, don't get left behind. Adapt, allow yourself to move forward with the changes, because there is a lot of advantageous energy to grasp hold of right now. This age of Aquarius has initiated us into more of a 5D reality or more. We're in a co-creative reality. We can manifest things a lot quicker than we could in the past. So allow yourself to believe in your magic. Embrace your metaphysical practices and the rituals and the tools that you do to make your dreams come true, to help you to be successful. Because now, as we move forward into the future, you are much more supported to live in these ways and make things happen with it. I love this. I think we had a great spirit animal card reading for this moon. And by the way, this was pulled from the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. It's not an endorsement or anything. I just really like these cards. And I also pulled additional messages from the Animal Speak Pocket Guide by Ted Andrews. And this is on my written version of this Oracle card reading. So if you go to my website, vinalene.com, you will find that written reading. And sometimes I say things differently than what I write. So if you want to just see what else I had to say about these cards, then head over to my website and check out that card reading there that I've written for you. Okay, loves, this is really what I have for you tonight. As far as the members here from 13 Moons, we're going to stay on a little bit longer so I can do individual card pulls for you. I also want to lead us through a lion's breath practice, pranayama practice. And if you are not part of 13 Moons and you're catching the recording, you can always look up lion's breath online for guidance. But it's a really great pranayama or breathwork practice to utilize right now, because it opens up the throat chakra and makes things a little bit more flowing here in this fifth energy center of Vishuddha, which helps with that Mercury tagging on the energy. Also is going to help with the prana activation here that's a little bit heightened with this moon. When we get into the vagus nerve, we start to relax a little bit more. So lion's breath can help you to actually relax and calm yourself down. It's great for releasing fiery feelings like that angst and jealousy and rage. Lion's breath can be great for that. And also it just helps us line up with this Leo lion energy. So we'll move on to that here in just a moment, but I did want to check the chat. I wanted to make sure that nothing else was coming through tonight first, and then we will move on here. I do want to end our full moon circle by releasing the guides and guardians of the 5 directions. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I want to take a moment to release the guides and guardians of the 5th element with their ether. Thank you for being in our circle tonight and bringing in the messages that we need to receive from Source in whatever way that we need to receive them. I also release the guides and guardians of the North with their element of Earth. Thank you for being in our circle tonight with all of your magical elements, the crystals and gemstones, the plant energy, maybe some guidance from our ancestors, just the simple nurturing space of gravity holding us here in the present. I also release the guides and guardians of the West with their element of water. Thank you for being in our circle tonight, helping us to wash away what doesn't serve and purify, helping us to let go of time and take a sacred pause for ourselves so that we can tend to our energetic and physical and emotional needs and get back into harmony. I also release the guides and guardians of the South with their element of fire. Thank you for being in our circle so strongly tonight with Leo energy, helping to burn away what is no longer needed, helping to release what clings to us, helping to transform what is ready to change. And finally, I release the guides and guardians of the East with their element of air. Thank you for being in our circle tonight, blowing strongly with this Aquarius sun and helping us to believe that every day is a new beginning. Every breath is a new opportunity. And every shift of our mind can make waves of change for our future. With this, our circle is complete and sealed. Thank you so much for being here tonight or maybe catching the replay. We will meet for our next moon circle on Thursday, February 27th, 8 p.m. Central Time, as usual, in the 13 Moons membership. If you are not a member of 13 Moons, there is a free trial. Depending on the membership you choose, you can either get a 2-week free trial or a 1-month free trial. So you can join our Moon Circle absolutely free, no obligation, and be able to be part of that live experience with the personal card pulls and the magical practices and manifestation practices that we do. Tonight we did a lion's breathwork practice together and I talked a little bit more about that. But sometimes we go deeper with our magic. We've done anything up to making spell jars and doing scrying. Other times we simply think about how to make our dreams come true and provide a better visual for that or more support for that. But we love our little family in 13 Moons, and in the spirit of growth, we are trying to grow that community. So I invite you to come in over there for free, check it out with your trial, and see if that is the right space for you. 13 Moons is also a place where I have all of my astrology information. So if you want to know pretty much anything and everything about astrology, you're going to find it in 13 Moons. You're going to find information on all the moons, retrogrades, eclipses, the astrological seasons, each of the new moons and full moons, how to work with the energy, different crystals and gemstones to use, aromatherapy to use, magical practices to carry out, journaling prompts, intuitive journaling prompts that you can do, card readings, the list goes on and on. Lots of astrological and magical support over there if you want to join. You can go to vinalene.com, click on store, find my offerings, find the choices for your membership, and what free trial you want to snag. Okay, loves, I hope to see you on that Thursday, the 27th, for the new moon circle. Did I say it was a full moon circle? Gosh, it's been a long day. Sorry, y'all. And Mercury is tricky today with the moon. New moon circle in Pisces. I think I said full moon circle for some reason. We're in a full moon right now. We'll meet on the 27th for the new moon in Pisces. And don't forget, in our next full moon, it will be a total eclipse. So we've got that eclipse series coming up as well. I wrote about it on the website, vinalene.com, if you want to go there and read more about the moon. I do, again, write things differently from what I say, so you can always go get more guidance, more insights, more information over there with all of my channelings and writings. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you have a blessed full moon and rest of your Aquarius lunar cycle. I hope you have a great transition into Pisces season here about a week from now. And until we meet again, Loka, Somosta, Sikno, Bavantu. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy and well. May we all feel safe and at peace. May we all be loved, feel loved, love one another. And may our actions, our behavior, our mindset all contribute to the happiness, the health, the safety, the peace, the wellness, and the love of all. And so it is, and so it already is, and so it mote be. Until we meet again. Blessed be.